Ladies and gentlemen, gather round, for today, we're taking a plunge into the strange and twisted world of Emperor Nero. You see, I usually enjoy exploring the complexities of good and evil in history's most notorious figures. However, with this particular individual, the deeper I dig, the worse the rabbit hole becomes. We're not just dealing with a villain here, we're dealing with a true textbook psychopath. Even when Nero seems to do something remotely positive, it's all for the wrong reasons, a point we'll delve into later in this video. Alright, so picture this, a kid born with the name Lucius Domitius Ahenobarbus. That's a mouthful, right? But this kid would grow up to be none other than Emperor Nero. Now, you might think, hey, everyone deserves a chance, right? Well, maybe, but this guy's childhood was all kinds of messed up. His mother, Agrippina the Younger, wanted power so badly she could taste it. She maneuvered and schemed to get her son on the throne, and when she finally did, you'd think she'd be happy. Nope, she just kept on scheming and manipulating, making you wonder if the apple didn't fall too far from the tree. So here's Nero, now the big-shot emperor, and what does he do? He goes ahead and murders his own mother, Agrippina. Yeah, you heard that right. The woman who practically handed him the throne ended up on his hit list. And why? Power, my friends. Power and paranoia. Nero got tired of mommy's meddling, so he got her whacked. If that doesn't make you wonder what kind of twisted mind we're dealing with here, I don't know what will. Now you'd think that offing his mom would be enough, but Nero wasn't satisfied. He decided to expand his hit list to include family members and close associates who might pose a threat to his rule. His stepbrother Britannicus? Gone. His first wife, Octavia? Bye-bye. It's like he had a checklist of people to eliminate, all in the name of self-preservation. Nero wasn't just content with knocking off family members, he had a taste for the finer things in life. And I mean, really fine. He built himself this insane palace called the Domus Aurea, or the Golden House, with a man-made lake, gardens, and all sorts of extravagant stuff. All the while, the common folks were probably wondering why their tax money was going toward Nero's personal amusement park. So, playing the fiddle while Rome burned down, now, here's a story that's been passed down through the ages. The Great Fire of Rome in AD 64 was a disaster of epic proportions. The city was burning to the ground, and what was Nero doing? Playing the fiddle, so the story goes. It's like he was saying, hey, Rome's on fire, but check out my mad musical skills. It's not exactly the response you'd expect from a responsible leader. By the way, the theory behind what caused this great fire is none other than Nero himself. What a legend. And that's not even the best part, folks. Nero's got a few more sinister acts up his sleeve. He decided to blame the Christians for the Great Fire of Rome. Talk about a scapegoat. He subjected these poor innocent souls to all sorts of brutal punishments, crucifixion, burning them alive, you name it. It's like he had a vendetta against anyone who wasn't on Team Nero. Hey, guess what? You made it halfway through the video, why not reward your dopamine receptors by hitting the subscribe button? Anyways, next, let's not forget the endless executions. Nero had a knack for accusing people of conspiracy and then getting rid of them. Senators, philosophers, anyone who crossed his path was fair game. It's like he had a one-track mind, eliminate anyone who might threaten his reign. But wait, can we find any glimmer of goodness in this sea of evil? Well, not really, but there were some positive impacts, though completely fueled by self-interest and self-preservation. Okay, so Nero had this thing for the arts. He was into music, poetry, and theater. In fact, he considered himself quite the musician, playing the lyre and singing his heart out. Now, you might say, hey, that's not so bad, right? Well, here's the catch, he did it all to stroke his own ego. It was all about Nero and his love for the spotlight. Nero did implement some policies to help the less fortunate in Rome. He distributed food to the needy and provided financial assistance to those affected by disasters like the Great Fire. But let's not kid ourselves, he did it to win some popularity points and keep the masses from revolting. The Roman Empire did continue to expand during Nero's rule. His generals and legions achieved victories in various regions, including Britain, Armenia, and Parthia. But you can bet that Nero wasn't out there leading these campaigns himself. He was probably back in his palace, enjoying the spoils. Nero did introduce some legal reforms, which might sound like a step in the right direction. But let's not forget that he was also using the law to eliminate his enemies. So, these reforms might have been less about justice and more about consolidating his own power. Now let's talk about a true poetic end, the death of Nero. By AD 68, the guy had made so many enemies that it was only a matter of time before someone came for him. A rebellion led by prominent senators and generals forced Nero to flee Rome. Facing the inevitable, Nero took his own life. Some say he died by stabbing himself in the throat with a dagger, while others believe he had a loyal servant do the deed. Either way, it was a fitting end for a man who had caused so much chaos and suffering during his reign. That's all. Subscribe for more.